Hello everybody, Big Plains here. Now before I go too deep into this video on the 707, I wanted to give a shout out to my patrons over on Patreon. So thank you to everybody who's supporting the channel over on Patreon. You guys really mean a lot to me because you are one of the reasons why I'm able to build these things. So again, shout out to everybody who's supporting on Patreon, and I will leave a link in the description below if you want to go help out the channel over there. So yeah, I'm going to dive right into this. Now, you guys are probably also a little confused here what's going on. There is sort of a bit of emptiness in this room, if you will, and yeah, it is empty. So what I've actually been doing lately is I've been packing up my primary aircraft, so that would be the 727 over here, the B-36, the 787, the 737, and the B-29 will be soon following. So I'm packing all those up for a convention I'm attending in a few days, so hopefully that goes well. And you can see I have one last of the boxes right here. So yeah, I'm just gonna ignore that, which is why there's a large space right here. Do know that this is only temporary. I will be moving the 787 back into its spot in a few days, so just know that. But I wanted to let you guys in on what's been going on with the 707 lately. So I'm just going to grab a minifigure here so we can have a bit of scale. So I'll just plop this down right here. This is what I've done so far on the 707. Now, a few days ago, I did put out a video showing the wing box design, the sort of structure that gets the angles into hedral and stuff, and I've actually built upon that, so it's not super visible anymore. I've covered it all up mostly, which is, you know, sort of unfortunate because it is a very interesting and elaborate construction, and I was quite happy with how it turned out. But we're actually beginning progress on the actual build. So what I've done here is I've laid down the cabin floor. This will actually be the floor of the cabin, so it is exactly, I believe, this is 12 studs, yeah, 12 studs wide, about where it should be, and figure does fit. And this is about the size that the 707 fuselage was. Now, it is a roughly the same size, or exactly the same size actually, as the 727 and the 737. It's exactly the same, in fact, and I'm actually pretty sure that the nose is the same too, so I'll just be copying that right over from those other builds. And so the fuselage and the nose is the same. Now, the wings and engines obviously are very different. This was the first in the Boeing family, if you will. So yeah, but yeah, so a lot of stuff going on here. The cabin floor has now been put in place, and the wings are beginning to get built. You can see that the leading edge here lines about up with the blueprints. You can see about there. It's a little bit, I believe, more than a 45-degree angle for the leading edge, so I'm not sure about that. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's roughly where it is. And you can see that it might be kind of hard at this angle, but I'll try to lift this up here so you guys can see. You can see that it has a slight upward dehedral. So again, you guys might be able to see a little bit there. It's aiming a little bit upward, and I'm actually really happy with how this turned out. It came out looking very smooth around the transitions and stuff, so I'm happy with how that turned out. And what we're going to probably do here for design-wise is I'm going to bring this wing all the way out to about right here where the flap rod would normally be on an aircraft, and separate it right there. So the inboard flap and the inboard engine will both be attached to the main segment. So next thing I'm going to do in the next few weeks here is I'm probably going to try to finish the wings, both wings obviously, and finish the center fuselage segment, obviously, and then get the landing gear in place, the main landing gear. And once I have the center segment like I normally do, I'm going to, well, not obviously, but I will put the engines on because those eventually need to go on. And then I'll build the nose out and do the tail. So hopefully this goes pretty fast here because I want to be able to redo that 747 before I get to some of the more interesting stuff like Concorde and possibly some other aircraft. And I got a lot of people responding to that last video where I said I wanted to do an Airbus, a small Airbus to start with. And I originally put out the idea for an A318 because I want something small, and I thought the baby bus it's just sort of interesting, and I got a lot of people saying the A318 was kind of ugly and they rather see an A3 or an A220. It's one of the newer ones. So leave what you think in the comment section below. And I also get a lot of people saying, all right, I'm getting sick and tired of all the Boeing aircraft. Now, yeah, obviously that is a valid statement. I've done mostly Boeing stuff from the 747, 737, 787, but there is actually a reason for that. So many videos ago, I don't remember which one I'll try to remember, but I stated I wanted to do a 727 and a 707, And I've already done a 727. It's not assembled here today, but I've already done a 727, and I'm working on the 707. So don't act like you didn't see this coming, because I gave everybody plenty of warning that this one was coming, and I'm going to enjoy it, so don't worry about that. But after this, I'm thinking probably, well, after the 747, because that one needs to get redone, because the Queen of the Skies is in need of a bit of a restoration. But after this, I'm thinking it's probably going to be a Concorde. So yeah, I'm moving on to some of the European flagships, which are really nice. And obviously, I'm willing to do some other stuff like some Soviet designs. Those are very interesting and intriguing. I like a lot of them. And yeah, so a lot of different options to come. But I do want to finish the 707, and that's probably it for the Boeing line. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a 757 or a 777 or a 767, because I feel like they're all sort of, I don't want to say this, but generic twin jets, because after a certain point, they all kind of turn into cookie cutter twin jets. So that's all I really have for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll probably have some more progress coming on this thing in a week or so, or maybe a couple weeks, because I'm doing a lot of traveling right around this time of year, so I may not be able to get much progress done on this thing, but I do want to let you guys into all the progress that has been made since then. So that's all I really have for this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and that's it for this one. Bye for now.